And we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Or if you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back to another exciting episode. There's a lot of FUD going on right now. People are panicking. Is this capitulation? Or maybe it's not there yet. We're going to get into all of that coming right up. This is the first time I've streamed by myself in a very long time, actually. Been having too many guests on. What's going on in the chat? Just wait a second for everyone to come in. Or we just get straight to the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin is pretty boring. Been just going sideways, really. It's broken the trend line, and now it's coming up for a retest. Are we going back into the trend line, or are we going to hit that target of 12,277? No, I don't know. If you're a technical analyst, you could just move the trend line down. That's what they like doing. We're not going to do that. I'm going to keep it consistent here, guys. See if it gets back in. But regardless, things are looking bearish out there. I don't know if we're hitting that target, frankly. I know Richard Hart says 11K and pray, but he doesn't have to be right. And according to this 4-year cycle theory, the bottom is in. But I guess we'll have to figure that out. Hex Addict says, Happy New Year, Furu. Happy New Year. And Happy New Year to you, Anthio-Sapien. I wish you face melting gains. So, yeah, I wish you that too. My outlook was that 2023 was going to be a sideways year. Federal Reserve has not lifted the interest rates, probably going to be lifting it mid to end of this year, just in time for the Bitcoin happening in April 2024. So this is the year of opportunity, because once the bull market hits, achieving financial freedom coming in the middle of the bull market is unlikely. Although you'll get some euphoria, you'll get some days where you're sitting on a heavy stack, but you're probably not going to time the top, especially if you haven't been there on the bottom. And the correction is probably going to wash out your gains and turn them into losses. But if you stick around, then maybe it'll come back. Maybe the project you're in will come back. So I think if you get in 2023, I think you have seized the opportunity. Bitcoin's still trading sideways. Has it bottomed? Has it not? I don't know. A lower low, though, means lengthening cycles, guys. A lower low means lengthening cycles. I guess if we just zoom out here. Yeah, this was the last run up. Time it took from top to bottom. No, we don't have to do all that. But it went all the way here and then had that major capitulation. Is it going to do that again? Or maybe this is that major capitulation. Or maybe this is the major capitulation. Nobody knows. But I don't know. If you look at sentiment, it really looks like people talk about how sentiment's supposed to look like in the bear market when it capitulates and it bottoms. It's really starting to look like that, especially with the normies by default associating Bitcoin and Ethereum and cryptocurrency with Sam Bankman-Fried and saying that it's never going to come back. It's just a big Ponzi scheme. And probably even more so with Hex. And we're actually going to go into that very shortly. But I don't know, how much lower could it go? Are we going to hit 11K? I don't know. Maybe we just won't get it. Everybody wants it. maybe not everyone's going to get what they wanted the same way everyone wanted 100K. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Anyways, Hex on the daily, not looking good. Confirmed breakage of the trend line. Confirmed breakage of the trend line. We are now trading at 1.8 cents. Did you guys think we were going to go back to 1.8 cents? When we were trading at 50 cents and everyone was saying Hex is pre-viral, Hex is pre-viral, did you guys think we were going back to 1.82? And now everyone's calling for 1 penny. Are we going to 1 penny? 1 penny is kind of like the 11K in Prey. It's that call that everybody wants and everyone thinks they're going to get. Are they going to get it? That's up to the market. That really is up to buyers and sellers. I don't think it would be appropriate to simplify it to technical analysis, even though I'm a little bit guilty of doing that. But I don't know. Whales are really starting to capitulate. Even OGs are starting to maybe even like have their doubts. Is Pulsechain going to launch? Is it not? We'll have to wait and see. We're going to get into that. Don't worry about it. I was actually trying to look up. The news for like cryptocurrency in general. There's nothing happening. Usually, like you could get an article of things happening in the broader crypto markets for a story like that, but there's nothing happening. The only place where things are really happening is in the Richard Heart ecosystem, which maybe is indicative that it'll come back. And I still think it will, guys. I still think it will. And we're going to get into that. Let's take a look at what you guys are saying. Ted Cash, welcome back, Ted Cash. Happy New Year to the Furu Finance gang. Happy New Year. Age of Aquarius. Great content, mate. Happy New Year. Great content to you as well. And Chad Donner Schwans. The Schwans of Donner has entered the chat. Welcome, Chad. Always great having Chad Donner Schwans. Massive FUD going on in the Hex community. Let's quickly look at the crypto bubbles. Crypto bubbles is mostly red. Couple of exceptions. Ape, OKB, Bit, Lido. Hex down 16.3. Wow. This is some good marketing here. Bigger the bubble, the better the marketing. More it gets in front of people's faces. Trust Wallet token. Where's Bitcoin? Do we have Bitcoin? Can't even see. It's down so little. Bitcoin's really been doing nothing. It's got to do something already. I've had enough. I want to rip the Band-Aid off. I'm sick and tired of Bitcoin not doing anything. It's really disgusting. It's really got to do something. It's got to do one of these or one of these and confirm the bottom and have everyone FOMOing in or something. FOMOing into possibly a fake out, whatever. Hex daily stats. How are we doing on Hex daily stats? Checking Hex on the daily. We got 54 new current holders and 23 net decrease. We lost 23 current stakers. So we are not at all-time highs today. Hopefully we can cancel that out tomorrow. But the vast majority of the days, what I really like seeing is that the overwhelming majority of days are, all-time highs in terms of holders and stakers. So that's that. If you're enjoying the show, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And your friend SOMMI, guys. You know what? That'll be our featured story. Is there anything, not featured that we could do before everyone comes in? We have Super Hex Win. Super Hex Win says, if you bought $1,000 of Hex at 20 cents, you got 5,000 Hex. If you buy $1,000 of Hex today at 0.018 cents, you get 55,555 Hex. The irony, 555. Total of 60,555 for $2,000. That makes your average cost 33.3 cents. So he's saying if you do two buys, one at 20 and one now, your average cost is 3.3 cents. Not bad, but everybody was quick to put all their money in when it was going up, and everybody was euphoric, saying it was going to go up forever. But now nobody wants to. Now it is the road not taken. I prefer going on the road not taken. Um, if it's easy, there is probably not too much opportunity. That is that is something that you could say with certainty. And right now, it's not really looking easy. It's down a lot more than people thought it would be, and there is obviously not a lot of news surrounding it. And again, when there is when the price is down, it's people just look at the chart like it's so easy. You just buy down there, but when you look at the chart, you don't see the sentiment surrounding it. You don't see the people, the big OGs capitulating. The people that you thought were diamond hands capitulating. You don't see the questions, and from mainstream media outlets and from bigger influencers as to whether or not it's going to come back. You don't see that. You just see a chart. But when you live through it, you see how difficult it is. And right now, in fact, we are seeing that difficulty. No question about it. It's not easy. It is not easy. And especially given, in general, cryptos, most of them don't come back. But yeah, it's not easy, and seeing all the FUD coming in. But I'll tell you, that does mean something. It means that the community is still there. That's for certain. And again, the community is the most important thing. So if there was no community and everybody sold and went off into the abyss, there would be no FUD being delivered now. That's for certain. But the fact that people are coming and they're trying to get that engagement, pounding these narratives that Pulsechain might not launch, Richard Hart's total scammer, this and that and this and that. That is indicative that we're still here, and if we stay here, I believe it'll come back. In my opinion, not financial advice, but you have to do your own research and decide that for yourself. But again, another thing I wanted to mention is Super Hex Win. You should be following him on Twitter, but even more so, you should be following him on TikTok. And again, when you look at Twitter and YouTube for Hex, it is very strong. But you look at TikTok, I was looking there this morning and I was in a bit of frustration. I was thinking to myself, there's no presence there. It's sort of like there are a lot of accounts that arbitrage or whatever post clips, but they haven't posted in 3-4 months. And it kind of reminded me of those, these accounts, the Twitter accounts for various cryptocurrencies that just leave in the bear market and never come back. So there is still a community, but the presence on TikTok has gone away. And TikTok is the key to virality. YouTube and Twitter are important for engagement. It is important for promotion, but you want virality, it is TikTok. And people need to start getting on TikTok. So Super Hex Win is one of the only, non-arbitrage hex accounts, a person who puts his face out there and creates content on Hex and releases it regularly. And he's doing a great job, and more people need to come. Let me actually plug his account. TikTok. Oops. TikTok. Super Hex Win. It's important to give them engagement. If people see they're getting engagement, people are coming there, then they want to continue posting. And he's doing an excellent job with TikTok. So being posted in there, you want virality. It's there for the taking, especially now. Now is like buying the dip because all the crypto content creators have gotten quiet. There's not much news to talk about. There's not much price action to talk about. Now's the time to really gain a footing. Now's the time where you will receive promotion and success beyond any other platform per capita, per the amount of work you put in. So it's very important to follow him, and it's very important to create your own TikTok account, your own Hexagon TikTok account. And remember, the offer's on the table. If anybody wants to be a TikTok content creator for the Richard Hart ecosystem, Start posting, and then, send me your DMs. If I like it, I'm going to promote you. I'm going to bring you on the show as a regular, even if I really like it, because frankly, TikTok is probably the single, it's not, it is the single most efficient way to achieve virality. It's not begging these middlemen. It's not begging these big influencers to have Richard Hart on. It's TikTok, and we could do it. Another content creator on TikTok that I discovered was Seek5555, another content creator that is a Hex TikToker. And I figured, hey, not too many of them out there these days. Why not promote them to you guys? So here's another one dropping in the group chat. Go follow him on TikTok. Go become a content creator on TikTok. Again, these people are doing more for virality than anyone else. He has 1,186 followers and over 11,000 likes, probably well over 100,000 views, which is insane. Probably close to 500,000, but I don't know. I can't see the metrics. Then there is yours truly, furufinance. I decided I'm going to make exclusive TikTok and YouTube Shorts content, because when a place where there is nobody, be that person. And I did it today. Maybe I'll make another one if I'm feeling like it. But it was talking about the community. It's not a regular arbitrage. It's got like the caption. It's got the caption, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I'm trying to be young and hip like you guys. So go watch the video, like the video, and create your own TikTok. But that was that. Again, that is the key to virality, and now's the opportunity. Then we got, let's do this one. We got Happy New Year from @KDP Crypto. Happy New Year to 2023. We have so much to look forward to in the coming year. PulseChain, PulseX, highs of stakes, bottom of the bear. Hey, maybe that happened in 2023, 2022, not 2023. Virality, that, and I cannot wait to share this journey with you all. Hex. So great stuff. But in terms of virality, we know how to get it. It's on TikTok. That's where it is. Nowhere else. It's not on television. Television is limited time. It's brief. People forget about you. It's not on YouTube anymore. It's not on Twitter. It's on TikTok. TikTok is where you get constant attention on people's feeds if they enjoy your stuff. And Hex really has what it takes. Richard Hart has what it takes to make for the content that goes viral. It's just a matter of putting it out in front of the people. We got 37 watching. If you're enjoying, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and go to the description and sign up for the newsletter. Let me actually put the link to the newsletter in there for you guys. Every Friday, you get exclusive insider content on the Furu Finance newsletter in the description for you guys. And let's get to the featured story. The featured story is from our guy, SOMMI. Really like him. He's talking about one PulseChain developer. No, this isn't our feature story, but one PulseChain developer was new to crypto and found his way into SafeMoon, 2021 retailer Ponzi that imploded. He watched BitBoy Crypto interview with Richard Hart, sold his SafeMoon, and bought Hex. We underestimate the global reach and impact of BitBoy's channel and the world. That is very, very true. These things matter. Getting out in front of people matters. And BitBoy Crypto is the #1 Bitcoin in crypto channel on YouTube, probably on the internet, and being on good footing, Richard Hart being on good footing with BitBoy, and the fact that BitBoy gives him a platform, albeit he's neutral, I think is very good. And we should be very appreciative, and I am. So he said, so this is him in June 7, 2021. For those who missed SafeMoon AMA today, here's a recap on the progress towards pioneering decentralized banking for everyone, for the unbanked, people who want to become unbanked. SafeMoon Army. So that's that. And then he said, oh yes, this is when I didn't know about Hex or Richard Hart win. He saved me a weeks after this post. I sold all my tokens and bought and staked Hex. That BitBoy crypto segment that was so controversial is what led me to Hex. Thanks for the memories. There you go. BitBoy, thanks BitBoy, and thanks Richard Hartwin. Yeah, these things make a difference. Getting out there in front of people makes a difference. And the best way to get out in front of people, in my opinion, not marketing advice. Not marketing advice is TikTok. Okay, we got a hater in the comments. Bro, you don't honestly think you can onboard anyone new on TikTok, do you? Lol, wake up. Until Richard Hart changes his ways, don't waste your time trying to onboard. Listen, playa. Listen, playa, have you heard of Andrew Tate? How many people go into Hustlers University? How much money is he making on Hustlers University after being banned from every single social media platform except for Twitter now? How has he gotten this famous? It wasn't through regular YouTube. It was through YouTube Shorts and TikTok. His fans knew how to navigate social media and they used it in a savvy way. So yes, if you could onboard people to Hustlers University, I think you could onboard people to Hex, which in my opinion is the best cryptocurrency in the best cryptocurrency out there, in my opinion. Good point. My apologies. Thanks, bro. Thanks, playa. Yeah, so that's really that. Now I think this tab's our featured story. Your friend SOMMI. There is Hex FUD going around. So he says this guy, Remoney at JDuprex, put $2 million into Hex at 10 cents. It became $10 million. He did not sell. He got greedy. Price retraces. He sells for loss and tells the SEC he got scammed. Share my detailed FUD crackdown to Hex and Pulsechain friends. Yes, I will share this. So yeah, we could actually just read this. It's our featured story. And hopefully you guys are active in the comment section, and we can make this more of a Q&A kind of thing. But there's not much going on in terms of broader crypto news. And so, yeah. So there we go. Part one. There's FUD going around from a Twitter user, Remoney, who got interviewed by the SEC. Initially, when you read it, you think Richard Hart got told to cease all operations in 2021. Remoney Fudder doesn't know how to string together sentences. So I went through in detail what he's saying and why everybody is misrepresenting it. As a basic summary, this guy is calling Hex a scam because his price went down after he bought it. He bought it around 10 cents and it went to 15 cents. He did not sell. Now it comes back to 1.8 and he's calling it a scam. So this guy sold $2 million of Bitcoin and rotated into Hex in July 2021. He then messaged Richard Hart privately in DM saying, I just put my last $2 million into Hex. Remoney then says he expected Richard Hart to give him private insider information. He wanted Richard Hart to tell him that he's being an idiot for buying now and to step back and wait, as in he wanted to basically get an edge over the rest of the community secretly. Instead, Richard Hart messages him saying, congratulations on being rich, and followed him on Twitter. Note, Richard Hex price was 10 cents at the time. His 2 million became 10 million at the top, but he did not exit. Instead, he is now saying he got scammed. Remoney says he has New York lawyers for the subpoena, and they told him Richard Hart's own lawyers would have 100% told him to seize all operations because he's under investigation. First thing to consider, you cannot seize any operation of immutable code on the blockchain. Hex is an ERC20 running on Ethereum. That's true. Second to consider for Remoney, are you really surprised that expensive lawyers you're paying are now grooming you into believing that you got scammed? They are siphoning money out of you. What do you expect them to say? They're not your friends. You're a dollar sign to them. You told me that you had 2 million to speculate in cryptocurrency. They are trying to extract as much money from you as they can. Furthermore, so that's an interesting point. I don't know for sure if that's why they're saying it. They could just be saying it because they're wrong. They could just be wrong and like they think that that's what is happening they just really don't know, or it could be they are, maliciously trying to extract money from this guy by telling him like, oh yeah, he's a con man, he's a fraudster. Um, Both possibilities, but the overall point is there even evidence that he's under investigation? These lawyers wouldn't know. Nobody would know. So there's no evidence of that even happening. And there's certainly no evidence that he was told to cease operations. And there's no evidence that even if he was told that he did cease operations. Um, so yeah, so everything from this guy's obviously not from Sami, but from this Remoney guy is completely speculative and probably related to the fact that he's down a lot, which sucks, but that doesn't mean you have to be a baby. You could be mature about it. You were told that dips were 90%, 90% dips were part of the game, 95%. You told me that you had 2 million to speculate in crypto. Furthermore, I really doubt that you told your lawyers in the SEC all these factual details, and you probably didn't tell them I was worth 10 million at the top, but I didn't sell. You probably also didn't tell them that if you kept your 2 million in Bitcoin, it would also be a 50% loss today, from 32K in July 2021 down to 16K in January 2023. Exactly. Bitcoin dropped, 75, 80%. You admitted that you sold 47 million hex for a big loss. So actually, you just went 500% in profit, and then it came back and you sold the low. Nobody told you to sell. Why didn't you sell the top when you had 10 million? Because you got greedy. Your lawyer won't tell you that. That's true. Remoney then tries to tell us that Richard Hart is cringe for trying to get Elon Musk's attention, but what Remoney doesn't know is that he's a pleb. Richard Hart is trying to help promote your bags to the rest of the world. However, because you have now sold and capitulated, you are out of the game. This is a common psychological effect for investors who realize a loss and quit. Note that Elon Musk pumped Dogecoin in 2021. Should we put him in jail too? Should Elon seize all operations at Tesla and SpaceX? Final words. Please share this with your friends in Hex and Pulsechain community. Follow me on Twitter. Please follow him. Your most valuable content. Yeah, great point. We could actually go to the original tweets that he got, just to really look at what he's saying and what he's saying it based off, because it's very easy to call Hex a scam now, to say all these bad things are happening, because it sort of feeds on the fear that everyone's experiencing right now, essentially. Okay, let's go to the thread. Okay, here he is. Jay Duprex. Before I tell my Hex story, I was MYOB. I don't know what that means. Selling 47 million Hex. Yeah, he sold 47 million on Thursday. Moving on at a big loss, 80s hair, Mr. Know-It-All felt he needed to insult the person that just dumped Hex, me. He didn't realize as a Hex subpoena recipient and day prior 2-hour interview, I was given lots of info. Here we go. If I happen to be lying, why have most of the relevant OGs in Richard Hart blocked me? My message remains open. Why aren't they saying, hey, bro, stop lying, stop fighting Hex? The truth hurts. They're all OGs that dumped on people's heads after the Elon tweet. Price pumped to 50 cents. So they dumped on people's head after the tweet. Why did it pump to 50? It's just like making stuff up. Like, yeah, people are going to block you when you're saying these things. You're just being annoying, and you're saying things based on nothing. Like, what's the point in even addressing it? I guess I'm addressing it. So I guess it makes for good content, sort of, but they're very big accounts, and it would probably just cause more panic just merely addressing it. I don't know. In July, after listening to him bash Bitcoin and upsell Hex, I sold my last 2 million Bitcoin and bought 2 million Hex. That's what he does very, very good, brilliantly. He promotes a scam and bashes Bitcoin relentlessly, as well as any other coin. I Twitter messaged him to tell him that I did this swap. Instead of being the caring person he claims to be, saying to himself, wait a minute, I'm under investigation. Again, that's not necessarily true. And this guy tells me he just put his 2 million tax. Maybe I should tell him, hey, pleb, step back, wait a while. He says, congratulations on being rich. How's coming? First of all, there's no evidence that he's under investigation. There's no evidence that he was under investigation at the time. In fact, he likely wasn't, and he probably still isn't. But regardless, The point is, how's he he's supposed to say, "Hey, don't buy it now. Don't buy it now." Like, he doesn't know what future price performance would be. In fact, he was saying that, like, I remember when it drew back to 20 cents, he said that that was the technical target for the bottom, and it was going to go back up. Like, he doesn't know how the market's going to play out. Just because he created the project doesn't mean he can tell you future price performance. And there's no evidence that he was being investigated. But so I guess he expected he expected price calls from him. Hey, don't buy it. I don't know. You want to DM Charles Hoskinson after you buy 2 million of ADA. Hey, I bought 2 million worth of ADA at $3, and then it dropped back. Oh yeah, he should have told me. He should have told me that ADA was going to go down. He should have said, "Wait, hold it, stay back, pleb." Like, come on, we live in the real world here. Nobody knows future price performance. Then he followed me on Twitter, the 2 million into Hex, and him following me is my guess. So it led to the subpoena. He could care less about the subpoena recipient. He's more concerned about his diet, soda aftertaste, Louis Vuitton, Rolexes. He's a jerk off. He's a jerk off. He's the he's the best person in crypto. There you go. So a lot of baseless accusations here, and very well brought out from your friend SOMMI. But that's the thing. It's during a bad price performance, it's very easy to succumb to the narratives, to succumb to the allegations, to succumb to all the fear that everyone's feeding into, especially people like him who lost millions and millions of dollars. That's why you got to think straight. And if you were in Bitcoin during the early days, before it was even legitimized by any institution or anything, imagine what was going on back then with regards to capitulation and things like that. But the people that were able to be objective and think straight and not fall for the narratives like the China banning Bitcoin kind of things, those are the people that were able to stay in. And you got to think for yourself. And I'm saying I'm based on what I see, I don't see anything credible here. There's no evidence that he's being investigated. There's no evidence that he's basically, the lawyers for this guy said that the lawyers for Richard Hart for sure told him to shut it down. That's ridiculous. First of all, who says he's even under investigation? Who says his lawyers told him to shut it down? There's no evidence for that. It's just lawyer speculation. And I mean, SOMMI, Sami is alleging that maybe they're just doing it to feed on his emotions, to manipulate him into, using them more, I guess, paying for more hours, whatever it is. The point is, there's no evidence for that. There's no evidence for anything. And then this idea that somebody's expecting Richard Hart to tell them, "Hey, stand back, the price is about to crash," is also retarded. I mean, think of the standard that he gets held to as well. Like, how come nobody says these things about Vitalik or Charles Hoskinson? Like, nobody complains about like buying the top and then he should have they laugh you out of the room. Like, he should have told me he should have told me to stand back, and the price was going to go down. Nobody knows what happens. Nobody knows future price performance. And that's why I keep saying, like, not to buy and sell based on Richard's calls and like wait for 11K Bitcoin to start DCAing into Hex. It may or may not happen. He was wrong about Hex, doing well during a bear market. It didn't do well during a bear market, and that's fine. He's a human being. That doesn't mean that Hex is a bad project. That doesn't mean Hex isn't the best crypto out there. It means that the idea that Hex was going to do well in a bear market, was going to have good price performance in a bear market, was wrong. And there was basis to believe it also, because it was doing well when Bitcoin was down 50%. I think it was at all-time highs. So whatever, it was wrong. He's a human being. He can't tell you future price performance. He can't, he can't always be right. But Hex, the code is there. The community's there. And I feel a little sorry for this guy that he got shaken out, that he sold the bottom or close to the bottom, whatever, and that he's dealing with the SEC and things like that. I'm sure it's not easy, but that doesn't mean he's right. And that doesn't mean he could just go out there and start promulgating these baseless accusations. But I don't know. That's really the way I see it. And it requires maturity and objective thinking during these times. And I think if the same way that people were able to see that when CZ said his lawyers were going to take care of it, like that's another thing. Like people thought, oh yeah, he's done. He doesn't have the money. It was talking about a clawback. Like they're not just going to surrender a $2 billion clawback on national television. They're that would not be the appropriate answer. And that's the way you're supposed to approach it. So I think the same thing here. There's nothing tangible in these allegations regarding SEC investigation, uh, regarding Richard Hart being a scammer and Pulsechain not launching, regarding anything, regarding shutting down Pulsechain. Like it's ridiculous and it's baseless. And like even moreover is like, do you expect his lawyers, who are probably in their 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever, if they're top lawyers from New York, to really understand cryptocurrency and understand like you can't shut it down kind of thing? Like they just don't know anything. They don't know anything and they're speculating. Yeah. And yeah, that's really that in terms of that. And he's also saying a big thing he's saying is that Pulsechain's not going to launch, and Richard Hart is just stringing everyone along. That's ridiculous. And I remember when people were saying that Richard Hart didn't want to go into Richard Hart didn't want to go to the US because he was scared of regulators. And he happened to have not been there in a while. Mom got sick, he went back, he was fine. He was on all the shows there, he made his rounds. These things just aren't true. But people really think that, again, I'm going to reiterate this because we got 50 watching. And if you're enjoying the show, please like and subscribe to the channel, and please sign up to the newsletter. And yeah, if you're looking at a price chart during the bear market, like Bitcoin since its inception, you look at Ethereum since its inception, you look at those 90% corrections, it's very easy now, knowing the adoption that unfolded for Bitcoin and Ethereum and the coverage that it's getting from all these mainstream news outlets, knowing now that it ended up unfolding like this, it's very easy to look back at the corrections and say, oh, I should have just bought. But during that time, you didn't have that. During that time, you didn't have that mainstream adoption. And you think it's bad what Hex is getting right now because Hex is being ridiculed by a couple of big YouTubers. Back then, Bitcoin was so fringe, it didn't even get ridiculed. It was so fringe. It was just a joke. But Chase Myers, Eric Voorhees, Roger Ver, Richard Hart moved forward. Max Kaiser, those people moved forward. They knew what was behind it, and they thought objectively, and they didn't get phased, and they were rewarded beyond their wildest dreams. And right now, you have this bad price performance. And then what happens when there's bad price performance? You think it's just, oh, the 90% dips here, the 95% dips here. Now's the time to accumulate. It's like, no, people are going to bug out. There's going to be new narratives that otherwise would not have been there. Or the narratives that are there otherwise would not have gotten anyone afraid because the price is doing well. Now that the price performance is bad, everyone's bugging out. Everyone's freaking out. Everyone's thinking it's over. That's just what happens. It's hard. It's not easy. But if you know what you got and you did your research and you didn't overinvest to the point where you're hurting, you can't take care of yourself, because then you should be fine. Or you shouldn't be in it because you researched it and decided that you didn't want it. But obviously none of this is financial advice, but that's really what happens. You think the road to financial freedom is easy, especially when in crypto you're expecting to get it in 2 to 3 years. It's not. And probably, and you think like, oh yeah, the OGs, they had like mainly uptime, but just think about the FUD back then. I mean, if the community fell apart, it might have been over, but they stuck together, and now the community is like so well grounded to the point where probably even if one, big YouTuber or the other, or like a couple of them, drop out, new ones will come, or, other ones will step forward. It's kind of really taken on a life of its own. So I think there's definitely more certainty than the early days. Plus, in the early days, you had every mainstream YouTuber calling Richard Hart a scammer and a scam. It's easy to look at Richard Hart and say, oh yeah, he's a scammer. He's got nothing. That's very easy, but it's hard to really think objectively and look at the substance behind it and look at what he's been doing. He's been right all along. That's really the way I've seen it. He's been right all along. In terms of, he was right about he hasn't been right about price performance per se, because no one's 100% right, but he's been more right than everyone else. He's been calling out the scams. He's been exposing the scammers, and his ecosystem's been the most wholesome, aside from the outrage marketing. So, you know, if you're someone that, just comes in, if you're just someone that comes in and, peeks under the hood, it's very easy to say, oh yeah, these are a bunch of kooks and he's a scammer. But if you're someone who's been in this space for 6 months, and you've been seeing him telling the truth while everyone else is lying, him really, coming out there and calling people out to the extent where it hurt him, it hurt his PR, because he was calling out people for doing things they shouldn't have been doing, or, and things like that, on national television, like not on national television, but like in these around the blockchain things, or calling out people for saying things that simply aren't true. I mean, you see that. I mean, why would you think that he's not being truthful about Pulsechain launching? It's really not launching all along, and he's just stringing you along for the ride. Like, does he seem like the person that would do it? Because he sure didn't seem like it all along until now. And I guess now people are bugging out. I think the difference really between back then and now is the price performance. And the price performance could really shake you out. It could really get you emotional. It could really get you to think things that otherwise you wouldn't have thought. Does that make sense, guys? Not much going on in the chat, but we got 63 watching. If you're enjoying, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please sign up for the newsletter. So yeah, that's really what's going on. So, I mean, ask yourself, is Pulsechain going to launch, or is he's lying about that? Is PulseX going to launch, or he's lying about that? It's really not. He froze it. His lawyers told him to, because other lawyers for this guy who sold the bottom told him that it's likely that his lawyers told him to. Sounds a little bit ridiculous, but it seems like something easy to succumb to when the price is down 96%. That's really that. There are a couple other tweets that really piggybacked on this I wanted to look at. We have, we'll talk about that later, but yeah, there's KDPLS. KDP.pls says, how I know Pulsechain, PulseX, and Hex aren't a scam. Richard Hart believes in what he is building. And anonymity is for users and transactions, not founders. Accountability belongs in crypto. He has never left. He puts his whole reputation on the line here. All 100% true. All 100% true. Also, forgot to mention the origin address. Never sold. Never sold. I'm saying, like, so who's he dumping on? It's a bunch of nonsense. But yeah, he does really believe in what he's building. And he's going on Ivan on Tech. He's going on one of the biggest YouTube channels. If he were really stringing everyone along, would he be doing that? I don't think so. I don't think so. So yeah, that's a great point by KDP. And there's a lot to look forward to. We covered that. And here's another thing. Hex, this is a big deal. Pulsechain decentralized node network. It cannot be shut down. Pulsechain will be unstoppable, censorship resistant. 590 full nodes is just the start. Pulse is about to take over. Yeah, 590 full nodes. But this is all a nothing burger, guys. It's all a nothing burger. It's like people talk like it's one of those projects where you have these anonymous founders, which unfortunately many of the projects building on Pulsechain do. He's completely out there. Everybody knows his real name. If they could find him, if they wanted to find him, they could find him in a second. I really don't believe that he's hiding anything. Another sign indicative of being close to the bottom, I guess, so to speak, is All In Crypto. This account's got 45.4 thousand subscribers. It's over for Hex. Binance called for Hex Pulsechain, PulseX to implode. SEC coming for Hex. Yeah, and he was fudding also. And it's nice to see people that really don't know much about Hex, Pulsechain, and PulseX to be fudding. Because, oh wait, was I not sharing screen? Yeah. No, I'm sharing screen. Because that doesn't worry me. Those, like, again, it's easy. The easy way out is to say that, oh yeah, Hex is a scam. Richard Hart's a scammer. That's easy. It's easy to say that when you see everything that, the caricature of a scammer would look like being embodied by Richard Hart for outrage marketing. I mean, that's the easy way out. It's not easy to really look into it and understand the method to the madness and why it's led to so much success. And seeing these people, normie crypto channels, whatever, they got a lot of followers. They take a look at Hex for a second. Oh, scam. Oh, gets a lot of engagement. Let me cover it. What would be worrying would be people that actually know what they're talking about saying that, which is rare, with the exception of people that have an agenda, meaning people that are trying to launch other coins, their own coins. They're trying to show them. So they go out there and tell everyone that, oh yeah, Richard Hart is, he doesn't know what he's doing. It's like, really? Would you be saying that? You weren't saying that until now. What changed the price? Or maybe that you're trying to launch your own coin. Maybe that's what it's really about. But aside from that, I haven't seen much of it. So again, I'm pretty bullish. So yeah, that was another thing. And what else do we have? We have the annual Hex conference, January 6th through 9th, hosted by Matty Allen. Appearance by Richard Hart and your favorite Hexkins. That's awesome. Like and retweet that. I think I'm going to be there. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'll be speaking at the Hex conference. But yeah, make sure you tune in live on YouTube, January 6th through 9th, 2023, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Central time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 1 a.m. I don't know what UTC is, but hope you're tuning in if you're in UTC at 1 a.m. Again, why is there so much FUD? Do you see FUD around all of the hundreds of projects that have been shilled by these influencers for the duration of the bull market that are now pretty much done? Like, no, there's no FUD because it's over. The community's gone. Everyone left. There is only FUD to be had where there are things happening. And I think Hex is second to none in terms of where things are happening, in terms of being a community where things are happening. So yeah, that's really that. Not much in the crypto news, in the broader crypto news. Again, just that boring bear market. But again, we're in 2023, and I said 2023 is the year of opportunity, because the reason why I'm saying that is because once the bull market hits, your opportunity's gone. You're probably going to be in the negative. Things already ran up. You're probably going to be in the negative come the bear market following. Like Benjamin Callen says, bull markets make you money, bear markets make you rich. So I don't know. I still think that Hex is fine. Not much has really changed. I guess maybe something that people are worrying about is Richard's not streaming frequently, but he's out there and he's going on the big shows. He's tweeting. There are updates on Pulsechain, PulseX, and things like that. He is still there, and that we could say for sure. Now is the time where I look at the chat. Feel free to leave a super chat if you're feeling generous, if you're enjoying the show. But Anders Pulse, how did you find Richard Hart win? I found him. I first heard of him when I was looking into Celsius. Like that was sort of the alternative was Hex, but I fell for the easy narrative that he's a scammer and it's a scam. So I didn't get into it, and it was under a penny. Opportunity came again though. So, but yeah, that's how I first heard of him, and then I really started looking at him when I really was able to. I had exposure to his substance because I was watching Kitco News. I was watching Kitco News regularly at that time, and they had Richard Hart on. And I'm like, wow, this guy knows his stuff. This guy's smart. This guy is full of substance. So that's really what got it for me. Camera is fuzzy. Hope not. This is the webcam. This is not the webcam. This is, or whatever, that the webcam US, it's like not the one on the computer that's fuzzy. Ramoni's logic, you should call the SEC on pretty much any stock and crypto in existence. Yep. People are hurting. But that does not mean you have to be a baby. And like, which other founder says, crypto drops 95%, Bitcoin drops 85, Ethereum 90, and altcoins 95%. Like, which other founder said that? Like, yeah, you could buy my crypto, but just keep in mind, like, has Charles Hoskinson ever said that his crypto drops 90%? Like during the bull market, he's like, yeah, it's going to drop 90 probably. Like, and Richard Hart said that, and everyone's like, yeah, it's awesome. He's being honest, whatever. And then it drops 90 and people can't hodl. People can't be adults. That's really what it comes down to. But yeah, I guess that's really it. Unless you guys have any questions. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll be back at 12 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, and I will be on Hex Revision's show tomorrow at 3 p.m. So catch me there. Please like this video right now. Please subscribe to the video. Please follow me on Twitter at furufinance. If you are new to crypto, whatever, you need some tutoring, email me at furufinance@gmail.com. We could do a consultation. And if you're feeling generous, become a member for $3, $4, $5 a month. And Jerry Oaksmith is here. Good morning. Just missed you. Missed you too, man. I was on RH Max with Jerry Oaksmith yesterday. Great guy. But I guess thanks for tuning in. You could always watch the replay. Thank you for all those watching the replay. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Have a great rest of your day.